Hi, this is Bobby Klein. I'm the translator and the interpreter of the I Ching. This is a New Earth I Ching, easy to understand, easy to put to use. It's an oracle, 3,000 years of wisdom wrapped up in this. So sit back, take a breath. If you've got a question in your mind, ask it. If not, just hang in and you'll get some answers. And that's what this is all about. The I Ching, they say, is the book of change, and it is, but it's also the book of answers. All right. Tune in. Drop in. You're home. Yeah. You're home. Take a breath. Go back 3,000 years with me. Back to the time of our relatives. Back to the time of our ancestry. As we reach back 3,000 years for the wisdom of a book that was passed on from priest to priest, teacher to teacher, shaman to shaman. Became a book 3,000 years ago, and it brings the wisdom of the ancients to us today. I've been influenced really for the last 50 years by this book. And I pay attention to what it says, and I have gone and not paid attention to what it says, and that wasn't pretty. So listen, just listen, see what it applies to in your life. Now, think about some question in your life, some situation that is confronting you at this moment in time. And give it some thought, something you really like an answer to. You'd like to be pointed in the right direction. The I Ching will do that. And then you say, well, I don't really have a question, but, we all have questions. But if you don't, then just say, okay, just give me some information. Give me some direction. And I throw the I Ching for every week. Have been for the last 11 years. A few months ago, I released the book, The New Earth I Ching, published by Tulum Publishing. Available on Amazon, both the Kindle edition and the hardcover. It's a beautiful book. So please buy my book. I know you'd like it and have that reference with you. It's got instructions in it and ways to do it. So you got that. You have a question, and the book's small enough, you can carry it with you. So I'm bringing you this information now because that's what I do, It's one of the things I do. And I love it, I got to tell you. I look forward to every week where I sit down and I write. And I bring these words forward. And I think about my friends who it's going out to. I think about my students. I think about everyone. That a lot of people I just don't know, but I know I reach out and I get big reactions from people, which makes me feel so good. That this direction can help a little bit, So just take that moment and take a breath, and now think about your question. Every week I write a haiku. It doesn't directly correlate with the I Ching, but it's kind of what's on my mind, my mind about life, love, living. This week, leaving summer's heat to a cabin on a stream feels like traveling. There's 64 hexagrams, 64 qual. I cast the coins, and that's how I come up with the section that I'll read and then I'll write. This week it's number 21, Shi He, biting through. Just in that title, I can't say I have favorites of the sections, but this one is I think it's so important, that we get to a point where we get frustrated. Things are not going right. We got to go through it. Can I do it this time? What's in my way? And when this comes up, biting through, it gives you confidence that we can move through it, right? So each week, I take wisdom from the writing, from the text. And this week, it's obstacles are no longer hidden. They are in front of you, confronting everything that you see as sacred. Judgment and punishment are appropriate. Think about that. You don't often hear that. We say, well, no judgment, no punishment, it's not right. But you know what? Sometimes it is, because in that is safety, in that just makes sense. Sometimes we come into judgment, and it's not like I judge this person for what they are or this person for what they're not. We look at a situation, and we have judgment about it. And judgment, that's what happens in courts, when you come up against a situation, right versus wrong, and then there's got to be that ground there, middle ground, that is judgment. And then it says punishment is appropriate, yeah. Well, we go through our life when all kinds of things come at us. We have ideas. We have the way that we behave, how we process things. Well, all of those things, if you will, have brought you success on your path. As you came through with your ideas and your behaviors, it brought you success on the path and what you wanted, to love, to abundance, to peace of mind. Well, everything that you've been going through and all the old ways are no longer valid. And that's a big one to wrap your head around. Changing the way that you think, changing the way that you deal with things. And that's important, that we're able to be flexible, that we can change that, right? So all those things that have helped us, and help us they have indeed, now they've become obstacles. All these old ways are getting in your way. See, the small bits of darkness that in the past have been ignored and you thought they'd go away have grown now. And then unless you deal with it, it can overshadow your action. It can overshadow your process. Unless you take action now and return to the light, that is moving beyond the darkness is there, and return to the light, that's where your success, that's where your benefit is going to be. It was seeming in many, many ways that the things that were in the way are gone. That things are getting easier, and that you didn't have to quite work so hard as you did before. All right. Look, know as you proceed that you really work hard, and then things start to go really right. Things are on point. And then we relax.
right? We relax and say, okay, man, I don't have to work so hard, don't have to meditate so much, don't have to do my practice, don't have to eat right. Well, that's the ego kind of getting us off the groove, and then we've got to stay in the groove, because our shadow side wants to take us off center. And that's why the I Ching comes to give advice such as this, that it's giving us now. This hexagram is a wake-up call. The obstacle is metaphorically in your mouth, and you must bite through it. The time for action is now, while things are still ripe, meaning ready to be dealt with. The benefit here is to examine each action, each person, each process on your path, and dissect them, and then make a judgment. If it's working for you and for the greater good, then it can remain. If not, discard it, or in many ways you're going to benefit by facing it head on in powerful yet compassionate confrontation. You know, it could be an old idea, it could be a person, it could be something you're dealing with in your business or in your art. If you look at it head on and correct your thinking, when approaching this matter, it will lose its strength and will hold no power over you. When we think about corrections, that we have to make corrections in our life. We're not always smooth. We're not always 100% there. But if we really look at things and take things apart, we see what needs to be corrected. What in our thinking is too negative, we correct it. What in the way that we're behaving is negative. And it's not like it's going to come up and slap you upside the head, but it is the thing that is going to come up to kind of take you off the road. You know, Ken Kesey said that the I Ching is not always a Valentine. Sometimes it comes up and slaps you in the face. All right. So you're going to bite through and eat the obstacle, the monster. That monster of doubt, that monster of shame, that monster of fear. This is the ancient way of the spiritual warrior, right? Just eat the obstacle. This is the path of the warrior in spirit, commerce, love, and expanded consciousness. As you brutally examine your situation, you may find that you're being blocked by a set of rules or beliefs that no longer apply to you. Root out the wrongdoer. Root out the self-deception in your field. It could be someone close to you, or it might be something inherent in a business arrangement or an agreement that you made in haste. Dig in and find it. And you get that crawling feeling, something ain't right? And when you do it, it'll be necessary to use your strength of truth, your strength in words, your strength in actions. And if you are correct in your position relative to the situation, there will be things that need to be said. And you need to be firm. And when needed, even wrathful. This is the way to deal with these obstacles in order to clear the way for clear love, abundance, clarity, peace of mind, and conscious action, right? That's it. See? And conscious action, it is looking at things as they come, right? It's dealing with it when they're there. Not swept under the rug, because we know what happens there. It turns into something really ugly when you take it out. Be aware that being nice and kind and compliant with false understanding in a current situation, that's not what is called for. This is the time to unleash the inner spiritual warrior. Draw your sword of truth, your sword of correctness, for your own and for the greater good, right? And when we talk about the greater good, we don't want to, it's our responsibility. Like it's our responsibility to be of service. It's our responsibility that if we're making an arrangement, a piece of art, if we're doing a business deal, if we're going into a love affair, it should be good for you, for sure, but also it should reflect well in the world. If things have gotten out of order, to restore order, you must bite through to the heart of the matter If you avoid this action, there'll be no resolution, right? And it'll be like, running your car on snow, or where your wheels don't take hold. At this point, by taking firm, positive, heroic action, this can be the beginning of a new cycle for you. And before a new round can begin, there must be an ignition. And there's no getting around this. To avoid igniting something, to avoid initiation, that would be folly. Because when you're hit with this, you're being initiated. Sometimes in a great way, sometimes in small ways, that you're initiating yourself and your ideas. If there is this troubling situation before you, this is what you must confront in order to survive as a whole, loving, kind, and compassionate human being. Benefits will only arise by jumping into the long-awaited initiation. Your commitment to authenticity in seeing this through as you get tested and you enter a rite of passage. This hexagram, this section, it's calling you to look at calling on you to look at the inharmonious situations in your life, what you're facing now that are not in harmony. And with self-compassion, reveal what's been hidden and then correct the situation by rigorously applying practicality and truth in equal measures, right? If called for, chastise or reprimand those who have strayed from the path of truth in relation to you, in relation to community, in relationship to tribe, and dismiss them. For they were the ones that's the situation that they created. It is what has been holding your love, your process, your compassion in bondage. And in this way, you get through it. In this way, you release it. And that is what's so important right now, that you come to a place where you are released, free at last, Do not let fear of being alone. Oh, yeah, this is a big one. Sometimes we say, if we really, go into all these things that are surrounding us right now, then we say, well, am I gonna exorcise myself from the tribe, from the family, from the relationship? Look, don't let fear of being alone in this pursuit. Don't worry about it. It's the quest for truth is what you must not allow to keep you from action. Take action. Eat the obstacle by confronting it one piece at a time. In this way, you will easily spot the bright and the good omens that will emerge on the way to give you strength and resolve to bite through. All right, think about that. You eat something, you don't swallow the whole thing all at once. You get sick, or you cough and choke, right? You take little pieces of it, bite it through. And in this way, you open the doors of perception. Like they said, man, break on through to the other side. And that's it when we go through the doors of perception. It's on the other side, the side that is not obscured by fear, greed, control, that your truth resides. And it is by being your authentic self that clarity can show you the way to your bliss and your purpose. If you've been cheated or lied to or used, it is in the proper order of things that person or that situation is made to face consequence. And it is proper for you to deliver that consequence. This is done with strength, compassion, and fairness as you move through. If somewhere in the back of your mind there's some doubts, there's some discomforts, be diligent and seek the truth through your intuition. Trust your intuition. And a focused discernment, right? Take a look at it, see what works, see what doesn't work. And if you must, seek counsel. Look to the wise person in your tribe. Maybe seek counsel in a book. The whole idea is to look behind the curtain, this curtain that gets placed over the truth. Move it aside and do not hold any uncomfortable feelings Any feelings of disharmony that your intuition is trying to bring to the forefront, don't deny it. You know the difference between right and wrong. So don't fool yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Right now is the correct time to use your strength to discover and to bring forth what has been hidden or what has been unsaid. Boy, you don't want to be left with, I should have said, why didn't I should have said it in a different way, man. You got to come forth, right, and bring out what has been unsaid and say it. In this way, you will remove the obstacles and you'll restore harmony, because that's what we're looking for. You may be facing the possibility that your position in a personal, business, social relationship could collapse, and then much will be lost. Don't be controlled by fear of this. The fear of not being liked by a group or by certain individuals whose opinion you really thought mattered. Do what you must do to maintain your dignity and the highest standards of integrity. Reformation is in order as you awaken and do what must be done. Yeah. It may well be that there's something going on that is unseen, or it's been concealed from you, hidden behind the curtain, whispered in the dark. In business, look hard. There could be something divisive or maybe even illegal that is meaning to take you out of your position of strength right now. Or people are trying to hide something that undermines your work. Or it could just be the situation. You got to take it apart. In a relationship, someone may be covering an action done in the shadows, or maybe projecting a drama from their dark side onto you, right? How often has it been that you get accused of something and you know that's not true, it just isn't? Well, then you got to ask that person, look at themselves, because that's projection. Love and greed are seemingly at two different ends of the spectrum, but they both can make you blind to the truth. Love and greed can make you blind to the truth. So at this point, go within. Sit quietly in stillness while asking for guidance on how to proceed. It'll come to you. With proper intent, all will be resolved, and your strength will rise up for you as you are operating for your and for the communal greater good. Fear or doubt will not have its hold on you. By taking action and biting through what is untrue, what's unfair, by standing strong for integrity and correctness, you will enter into a union with the forces of compassion and love that are omnipresent and within your grasp. It's here, holding this space, that you'll be able to join with the energetic motion, this energetic, yes, it's power, that energetic strength, that energetic power that we all share, right? All Gaia's children, we share that. And at this time of joining with your fellows in the vision of a new earth where we live, and in the knowing that we are all one people on this small, beautiful rock just floating out in space, and for the entire universe to see, as we're being looked at, we are naked. So you be in the right place, the right time. As you move into this kind of thought, this kind of action, you become the example on how to live in harmony with our earth, how to live in harmony with other sentient beings, how to understand that we truly are all one, as hard a concept as that is. We're moving towards the light of living consciously with one another. Consciously with one another according to the concepts of kindness, compassion. The teaching in this hexagram, in this qua, is your initiation into cosmic union. People, get ready. The cosmic train of love is coming. Soul train. Dump your baggage and get on board. Make it travel light. Huh? Make it so you travel light. I think it's a really good message this week. That when we come through, that we get confronted by things, we just have to confront them. We got to say what we mean. We got to, and not lie, and not lie to ourselves, not lie to others just to make things seem easier, because it doesn't make it easier. It makes it harder. So it's a big lesson, big idea this week. The haiku for me: leaving summer's heat to the cabin on a stream feels like traveling. In Lakesh Alakin. It's a Mayan phrase. It's beautiful. In Lakesh Alakin, it means that I'm the other you. So if you feel it and you say it, and I say it to you, in Lakesh Alakin, I am the other you. And as so many of you know, I like it that way. Yes, I do. Treat each other with respect. Smile when you're out there. Don't denigrate people that are of a lower class than you, or a higher class, or whatever you're seeing as different levels of existence. Don't denigrate the other sex. Just the hard work is to live in harmony. And that's the work that makes you free and makes you happy. And that's what opens the door to change, right? I Ching, it means the book of changes. And I call it the book of answers. Again, my book, The New Earth I Ching. We're headed for a different earth right now. And it really does make sense that we see it in that way. This new earth. In my book, New Earth I Ching, Dr. Mark Hyman, who's an amazing doctor, and you can follow him on the web. He is like the innovator of an aspect of medicine. It's a holistic kind of medicine. It's called functional medicine. And if you don't know about Dr. Mark Hyman, take a look. The cat makes sense. We wonder, I have one of his books. He says, what the hell should I eat? And lots of times we have questions like that. And he wrote the foreword to the book, and he did a beautiful job, and I'm so honored and pleased. And a shout out to Mark. So, you want to read that? Buy the book. Be good to yourself. Again, I want to thank the souls that joined with me here in Mexico, here in Tulum at the retreat. That was amazing. All the souls that gathered together and showing their love and being love and all that. It was really something so beautiful. So listen, be the love that you desire. You got children around you, teach the children well by your behavior, right? Behave yourself. Kids know what's going on. So teach your children well. Graham Nash wrote that in a song. So teach your children well. Be the love that you desire and teach peace. Namaste, y'all. May love surround you every moment of every day. I'm going to have some lessons coming out on my website here about different things I talk about. look at all kinds of things, about our behavior, about coming to a place where we get the tools for moving ahead, and how to analyze your dreams, make your dreams, help to point the way, about coming to service, about finding that place in your life where you find peace of mind. So, namaste.